What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City match analysis. This time we're going to be analysing game 38, the final game of the season. Manchester City away on the south coast against Brighton and Hove Albion. And as you can tell by the huge grin on my face and the can, Manchester City did win the Premier League and won this game. So we're going to analyse our way forward going into the FA Cup final next week, as well as have a little bit of a cheerful video and also have a look at our opponents Brighton and also what it meant for our opponents in the Premier League, Liverpool. And so we're going to crack on with this video, and we're first up going to be talking about the shock before the game. Mahrez ended up starting in this game. Now, a video I did last week, I can't remember which one it was, but it got a ton of dislikes. Someone sub-dislike botted, or whatever it's called, dislike botted my video, which was strange, because I wasn't talking about Riyad Mahrez. And the reason I weren't talking about Riyad Mahrez, because there was nothing to talk about with Riyad Mahrez. He weren't starting any games or anything, or getting dropped from the squad. He was just always on the bench. And so he started in this game. I thought we'd have gone with Sane, who ended up going with Riyad Mahrez. I thought, okay then. It's not the team I'd have gone for. Certainly I didn't do that in my preview anyway. But all that was going to use Bernardo Silva in the centre, which, as the game went on, Bernardo Silva went out wide and we saw Sterling drifting into the middle. So we saw Mahrez quite a lot down the left wing, which isn't a position we've really seen much from Mahrez this season, playing on the left wing. But there we go. I fancied Leroy Sane started in this game, though, because he was going up against Bruno. I think he's 38 years old, his final game before he retires today. I just fancied Leroy Sane would have had all the pace to be able to run at him. But there we go. We saw Kevin De Bruyne on the bench too. For Brighton, we had Ryan in net as predicted, Duffy Dunk, Bruno at right back and captain and retiring after this game. We also saw Knockaert, Gross, also that other player whose name I cannot pronounce. I apologise for that one. The one that begins with J that likes diving around, and also Glenn Murray up top. Interesting, Dale Stephens missed out on his starting lineup, and I'd have thought Brighton would have gone with the same starting 11 that got that excellent point at the Emirates Stadium, but there we go. As we got into the game, first 20 minutes, quite pensive from everybody. Man City looked very nervous, everyone on the bench looked very nervous, everyone in the stands looked very pensive, and people on the pitch, well, they were just passing it around with not a lot of intensity there. And so I just wanted Manchester City, we like scoring the first 15 minutes, really to push forward, and it never really came. Was kind of just passing it around. So a passive first 20 minutes. 27 minutes comes in, corner to Brighton, the corner comes in, swinging in from the left. There is Murray, out jumping Zinchenko, Ederson's flapping. Decent corner, good goal from Murray there, and it was extremely disappointed to concede from there. And about a couple of minutes before, we saw Sadio Mane put Liverpool 1-0 ahead. And to be honest, just a disaster, a disastrous start to the game. 27 minutes in, Liverpool are ahead, Man City are losing. Liverpool's won the Premier League. We're needing a couple of goals, and things were looking very bleak. And you know, there's a lot of head in hands moments, and it's extremely disappointed. I did write down it was a carbon copy of the goal that Spurs scored at the Etihad, with the in-swingers going towards the near post, City not defending the near post that well, and end up scoring from it. It even happened with the Llorente goal, which was quite controversial. But that was another in-swinger coming in from the left as you're looking at the screen. And so it was disappointing. A disappointing goal to concede while Zinchenko was marking Glenn Murray. I do not know, but it's something that Man City do need to work for against Watford, because imagine that when they're targeting set pieces, they're going to be targeting ones coming in from the touchline, and also set pieces, so corners coming in from corners, so they're going to target the post, the near post. And so it's something we really do need to work on, in my opinion, going forward into the next game against Watford. There's a little area of weakness there. Spurs have exploited it, Brighton's exploited it, and also it meant that Ederson didn't keep a clean sheet in this game, which ultimately means he hasn't won the Golden Glove, unfortunately, but I'm sure he'll exchange that for the Premier League trophy. Now 28 minutes, just 1 minute, just 90 seconds after Brighton had scored, Manchester City go at the other end, some quick play, finally passing it just that little bit quicker, a little bit sharper, a little bit more pinpoint accurate, and finally Sergio Aguero had beaten off the two central defenders. The left back is keeper Sergio Aguero, a good yard onside, so if we'd had VAR in this game it would have counted. Sergio Aguero's there, Ryan's rushing out, left foot, weaker foot of Aguero, slots it coolly right under him, and just what we were looking for, the equaliser. After not looking that great, it made us all feel better. I'd rather the score was 1-1 than 0-0. It means we found the goal, and to be honest, it kind of set Man City on the way. It kind of sprung them them into action. The quick goal, it meant that we weren't dwelling on anything long enough. We got the goal, and it kind of set the ball in motion, basically. 38 minutes in, finally, after I think it's 210 corners for Manchester City. We've gone like 28 games or something crazy like that without scoring from a corner. We finally nailed one. Riyad Mahrez, the man of the moment, putting a ball in. There is Laporte to head it down and head it into the ground and into the back of the net. We scored quite a few goals like this at the beginning of the season. However, not really happened since probably around November time that we've put in many decent set pieces. But that was absolutely spot on the money and just what we were looking for. 2-1 lead going into half-time, just before half-time. Jesus Christ, I think it was Dunk with a free kick. It was dipping. Ederson moved, had to move back, tried to catch the ball. It was dodgy and it just went over the bar, and I was happy that the referee blew the half-time whistle, which meant they didn't get the corner, because I'd have fancied they might have put in another in-swinging near-post corner that would have caused a lot of problems. Obviously, they've not had a corner since they scored. Brighton said they're feeling on top of the world, so I was happy that half-time whistle went. Half-time, 2-1 Manchester City. Felt like we need to do better with our organisation. Felt like we need to do better with our defending. We need to be a little bit stronger, a little bit cleverer, particularly when dealing with set pieces. We know Brighton want set pieces and did it all the time at Wembley, so it was disappointing to be conceding off them, and they were looking extremely dangerous off that too, and causing us a lot of problems, causing a headache. And I was worried. I wanted the full-time whistle to be at half-time, if I'm completely honest. I just wanted the season done and dusted. 3 points, take the trophy, and let's all move on with our lives. In attack, I just wanted us to keep going forward, keep trying to score goals. If you get the third, keep pushing, get the fourth. That's always what Manchester City are looking for, and I just made a nice little note. I can't take this anymore. Absolutely brilliant. Into the second half, though. A quiet second half to the start of the second half, if I'm honest, just like the first half. A little bit passive, and I was a little bit concerned. Like I said, Brighton were just starting to grow a little bit in confidence towards the 55th to 60th minute. I was a little bit concerned because this game was by far not dead, and Manchester City, I felt, just needed that third goal just to calm everybody down, and it came through the form of Riyad Mahrez, the man of the moment, my man of the match in this game, and the genius from Pep putting him into the starting 11. Brilliant cutback, dummy in the shot onto his weaker right foot, wasn't scared to shoot, central to goal, good shot. Keeper gets a good hand onto it. Wasn't enough to put it to save it and put it wide. A good finish from Riyad Mahrez. That'll make him feel a lot better. And boom, there it is. Manchester City get that killer 2-goal cushion that we're always looking for. The 3-1 that we're looking for. And I made another note. Breathing space for City. Just make sure now you don't concede. 72 minutes, 9 minutes later, there is the Premier League trophy right there. Free kick is given. We're looking 20, 25 yards out. Who's going to take the free kick? I thought it was going to be David Silva. If I'm honest, it weren't. It was Gundogan. Puts it in to the right corner. It wasn't top, wasn't bottom, but it had enough pace on it to go into the goal. A good free kick. I was crying for Leroy Sané to come on and do one of his lovely, quick, dipping free kicks. We've got Ilkay Gundogan scoring possibly his last ever goal. That'll be sad. He's had a fantastic season, hasn't he, Ilkay Gundogan? I had no idea why he wants to leave. He's had plenty of game time this season, and to be honest, these central midfield rumours of all these midfielders joining us, including Bruno Fernandes, if Ilkay Gundogan was to commit to Manchester City, I feel like we won't be linked with these players, and I'd love to see Ilkay Gundogan commit to Man City. He is a wonderful player. Please sign the contract, Ilkay Gundogan. The contract is there. We all love you at Manchester City, and absolutely brilliant that he has got the goal that has secured the Premier League trophy for Manchester City. Into the late bits of the second half, we saw De Bruyne come on, which I'm almost certain now he'll probably start in the Cup final. We saw Otamendi and Danilo come on for possibly their last ever Manchester City appearance, possibly their last ever Premier League appearance for Man City. We might see them in the FA Cup final, we might not. But if it is, then farewell to them. Great servants to the club, been great players for Manchester City, and what a way to leave Manchester City. They're both looking for more game time, and they've got clubs with plenty of interest from all around Europe. These are in-demand, fantastic footballers. There's no wonder there's loads of world-class football clubs after these players. Full-time, 4-1 to Manchester City, back-to-back Premier League champions for the first time in a decade, in the first time in 10 years. Absolutely brilliant, and I will add one note before we go on to the conclusion. Good luck to Bruno, the right-back for Brighton. His last ever game, he's done 7 years at Brighton. He is now retired at the age of 38, so good luck to him, and it was nice seeing everybody applauding him off. Man City fans, the Man City players, referee, the Man City coaches, the Brighton fans, the Brighton players and their coaches. What a great send-off for him. He had a little presentation at the end too before City lifted the trophy. Absolutely brilliant. So, in terms of stats for this game, 76% possession for Manchester City, 24% for Brighton. 6 shots for Brighton, 2 on target, 1 goal. That's not a bad ratio, is it? 20 shots for City, 9 on target, 4 goals again. It's not a bad ratio. 245 passes for Brighton, a pass completion rate of 72%. That is decent against City. 792, just shy of 800, a 93% pass completion rate for Manchester City. That is brilliant. 15 key passes, creating a couple of clear-cut chances. I'm confident we can play like we did and just improve a little bit on our set-piece defending. As of for the cup final, I'm confident we can come home with the domestic treble. At the moment, we've got a domestic double. We've equalled the success in terms of trophies as of last season. We've also got a community shield too. People want to count it. You know, it's a trophy. It's not really a major trophy because there's only 2 clubs in it, but still, more silverware for Manchester City. The tasting success. And once you've tasted success, you want it more. Now, great push from Brighton. Fair credit to them. I thought the celebration at the end with the music on the tannoy and everything, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, they were booing Kyle Walker, and I would have comments to make about it, but the response to City winning the Premier League was absolutely brilliant, if I'm honest. And so, good luck to Brighton for next season. I look forward to playing them again next season, and thank you, Brighton, for being such great hosts for what turned out to be our coronation for the trophy. Now, for us, like I said, Mahrez my man of the match. Pep was a tactical genius in this game. I'm delighted for Riyad Mahrez, I really am. Great performance, and probably earned himself a start for the cup final next week too. Absolutely outstanding from everybody today though. I thought Manchester City put in a real good performance to go 1-0 behind in such a situation to be able to respond. I can't even explain in words how good of a response that was, and I'm absolutely delighted for everybody, for the staff, for the players, for the coaches, for Pep, for the backroom staff, for all of the staff that work at Manchester City, for all of the players, and for every single fan. Fans that were there, fans that weren't there, fans from around the world, fans from here, there and everywhere. Everyone should taste the success. And so here is to Manchester City and success. But absolutely brilliant. Like I said, City now back-to-back champions. First time in 10 years since United did 3 in a row in 2007, 8 and 9. And so it's brilliant for Manchester City. It's like a little period of dominance that we've got, and we've shown just how good we can be. That Liverpool team has been exceptional. Back-to-back Champions League finals, 97 points. They've lost 1 game all season to Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. Salah's goal that wasn't a goal was, I think it was like, it's something crazy. Was it like less than, was it 11 millimetres or 20 millimetres? Something like that from going over the line. John Stones winning us. And that could have been 100 points for Liverpool if they'd scored that game, that goal. They could have won that game easily. That could have been 100 points for Liverpool, matching our total from last season. They could have had an invincible season and won the Premier League instead. Absolute fine margin. I'm sure the Liverpool fans will be gutted, but they've got the Champions League final and everything to look forward to, so they just need to put their focus towards there. In my opinion, commiserations, Liverpool. Absolutely brilliant win today. 2-0 at Anfield. 97 points. So unlucky. There isn't anything more that they could have done to have won this Premier League. I think Salah and Mane are going to be sharing the golden boot along with Aubameyang, as Aguero's missed out by a goal. And so Alisson's got the golden glove. They've got the PFA Player of the Year in Van Dijk. Klopp's been brilliant at Liverpool too. They've pushed us all the way, and we've come out on top. 98 points in the follow-up of 100 points. They're setting a new standard, and we've shown that Pep has improved the Premier League. You can see it from the Champions League performances. England are dominating, and it's absolutely brilliant. I think everyone should just enjoy it and soak it in. Unless you're a Manchester United fan, of course. Now, on to the FA Cup final. We've got a preview coming up for that later on in the week. We've got our usual content, latest news, transfer news, interesting transfer news coming up in the week too. We're obviously going to have the fallout from this game too, a reaction video. And we've also got a new style of video coming up tomorrow, a podcast talking about Man City and the Premier League throughout the whole season, reviewing absolutely everything and analysing everything to look forward to. That'll be quite a long video, but I'm hoping it'll be an interesting video and a nice listen to. So if you're interested, make sure you stay tuned for that. But It's time to go and celebrate and time to go and party. Everyone has deserved this. City's got a thing on at the Etihad Stadium. I think it's at 8:30 and the players are going to be there at 10 o'clock. So if you're in Manchester watching this video and you can get to the Etihad Stadium, go and join the fun and celebrations. And I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you are new around here. Social media links in description below if you want to go and check them out, Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you all again for the next video, as I want to go and celebrate this wonderful achievement too. So I'll see you all again for that podcast style video tomorrow. So it's been JSGC. I hope you all have a wonderful and lovely rest of your day. Enjoy this victory, enjoy your weekend, enjoy the celebrations. Peace. Ciao for now.